Hello, welcome back to Valheim. Previous episode, we started exploring for a place where we can build our base. And we stumbled upon these two huts. And one of these huts has some bees. I don't know if you can see the beehive, but you can definitely hear it. If you destroy that beehive, what you get is a queen bee. And you can build your own beehive. And from your own beehive, you can farm honey. And honey is a really good food item. But the beehives are really difficult to destroy. If you get too close, the bees start to sting you, they start to attack you, and you will get poisoned. Also, the beehive is really high up, so I can't reach it with my axe. I need a bow to destroy that beehive, so I'm just gonna leave it be. And we will come back to it at a later time and destroy that beehive to get a queen bee. There are also other structures in this game. This looks like a chicken coop. There are no chickens in the game, at least not yet. This game is in early access, so it's still in development. So they might add some chickens, but I don't know if they will. And there we go. There's also another animal, a boar. And if you kill boars, boars are aggressive. So in a previous episode, we tried to kill a deer. We tried to sneak up to it, but the deer saw us and it got spooked and ran away. So the deers run away and boars start to attack you. And if you kill a boar, they drop some meat and some leather. And with that leather, we can craft some pants. Because we have been walking without pants for almost a full day. We need some pants, man. It's cold. If you look in the distance, you don't have to look that far. You see different trees. And you also see a different kind of grass. And that is a different biome. So if you take a look around us, we see some green grass and some gray trees. We are now in the meadows, and there's the starting biome, and the tree and the biome with the yellow grass and the pine trees. That's the black forest, and that's where we're gonna go next. But we don't have any gear, we don't have any weapons, so we will die immediately if we go there. We don't want to die immediately, but it's just a matter of time before we die there. So I'm just gonna stay away from it. And, I'm just taking a look around here. So this looks relatively flat. So what I wanted for a place to build my base is I wanted a flat area and an area close by the sea. So this place looks relatively flat and it's pretty close to the sea. So this looks like an ideal place to build my base. To build our base, what we're going to need is we're going to need some wood. And you get wood by cutting down trees. So that's what we're going to do. There's this beech tree. And when you hit it enough with your axe, what will happen is it will turn into a log and will fall down. And you have to be careful. Because if that log falls on you, you take a lot of damage. Has happened multiple times to me, so I'm really careful, making sure that that log falls down the other way. So I'm wasting no wood, I'm even cutting down the stump, and now I'm trying to turn these logs into wooden planks. So you just keep hitting them, man. That's the only thing you do. You just keep hitting them, and eventually they will turn into wooden planks with which you can build. There we go. So we got the wood, and the next thing that we need is a hammer. And with the hammer, we can start building. We can start building walls, we can start building floors. But before we can do that, we have to build a workbench. And that's also what Hugen is going to say. He is going to tell us that we have to build a workbench first. So you can only build a limited amount of things with the hammer. But this workbench has an area of effect. As you might see, there's this circle around this workbench. And if you're standing inside of that circle, you can build even more things. So with the hammer alone, you can't build walls and floors. But if you're standing in the area of effect of that workbench, you can also start building walls and floors. But before I start building walls and floors, I want to first flatten the area. And we do that with a hoe. And you craft the hoe at a workbench. So the workbench has two functions. You have that area of effect where you can stand in, and if you stand in that area of effect, you can build more things with the hammer. It expands the things you can build with the hammer. And the second function is that you can also craft things at the workbench. So if you walk up to the workbench and use it, you can craft more things like a hoe, like a shield, like armor. You can craft a whole bunch of things at the workbench. But to craft the things at the workbench has to be inside of a building. And that's what I did. So you got those huts, those abandoned huts. I built one more workbench in there, and we can use that workbench to craft things like a hoe, to flatten this area where we can build our base. So if you look, we flattened this area, nice. It's now nice and flat, so perfect place to build our base, or a hut, or whatever. But there are some stones in the way, and we can't get rid of those stones yet. To get rid of those stones, we need a pickaxe. And to get a pickaxe, what we need to kill the first boss. So that's what I'm gonna wait on. I'm just gonna wait until we kill the first boss before I start building my base. Good thing is, the first boss is not that difficult. You don't need that much gear to kill the first boss. It's pretty easy. While we are preparing to kill the first boss, I'm just gonna take residence inside those two huts. So those are abandoned huts. Nobody is living in them. One of them has bees in it. We have to get rid of the bees. But once we get rid of the bees, it should be a really nice, cozy place to live. So another option is that we don't get rid of the bees and we just put everything in this one hut. We put our bed here. We put our crafting bench here. We put everything here. But, it just doesn't look nice. It's kind of ugly. And, of course, the golden rule, you don't mix business with pleasure. I also crafted the chest so we can drop some of our stuff in there. We can only carry a limited amount of stuff, so there's also a weight limit. And the next thing that I want to do is I want to upgrade our workbench. And you do that by building modules. So you can build extra stuff. And in this case, we can build a chopping block to improve our workbench. So our workbench is now at level 2. So I'm trying to check if I can build it outside because it just looks nicer, right? But I don't think that's possible. So I'm just going to have to build it on the inside there. Wood chops block on the inside. We chop block on the inside. And now that we have upgraded our workbench, what we can do is we can craft a bow. And with that bow, we can take down the beehive. And we can also start hunting. We can start hunting deer. Because deer run away when we get too close to them. So we're going to have to kill them from a distance. And we can do that with a bow. But to get a bow, we need some leather. And that leather drops from boars. So we're going to have to hunt some boars. And then we can craft a bow. And then we can take down this beehive. And we can also hunt down some deers. So that's what we're going to do next episode. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like. Also leave a comment. Comments really help with the algorithm. And you would be helping me out. And subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Bye bye.